The value of childhood sports. I believe that every kid should play a childhood sport. During the baseball season last year, there was a situation where the umpire made a terrible call. The bases were loaded, the batter was walked, and since there was a pass ball, the runner on third decided to go home to allow the runner on second to possibly score. The batter decided to let the runner on third go by before advancing to first base. The umpire called the batter and the runner out, and no one really knew why. Even though our team knew the umpire had made a horrible mistake, we pushed through our hardships and kept battling through the tough calls. We ended up losing, and I learned that day that sports can be a symbol for life. Life doesn't always go your way. You can't change that. You can, however, move on, or dwell on the call the entire game. At the end of the game, after we had shaken hands, my coach talked to the team about how to face adversity. In sports, you will face adversity, maybe by a bad call, but that is how things work in life in general. You will face adversity in your life, whether it be big or small. Sports are a way of teaching you how to overcome that hardship and move forward. I attended a high school tour for a school in Moraga called Camp Lindo High School. During the tour, there was a 2-hour-long presentation talking about different aspects of the school. When the sports speaker came up to speak, we were told that he was the center for the high school football team. I had already sat in my seat for 1.5 hours and was bored to death, but when he delivered his beautiful speech, the first thing he said was, "School teaches you many valuable lessons, but the most valuable lessons come from sports." I immediately snapped out of my daydream and focused all of the remaining energy into listening to him speak. While playing sports, you learn to reveal your character and develop it. Studies show that playing sports makes both kids and teens happier. Not only that, kids and teens who participate in sports are more likely to land a job later in life. Participating in athletics requires commitment. If you plan to participate in a sport, it is important that you commit to showing up to practice and giving 100% effort during games. Through athletics, I have learned many life skills. For example, I've learned how to work hard. Now, two people could have two different definitions of working hard. Working hard from my point of view is doing 2 hours of practice 2 times per week, while for another person, it might be running 100 meters. I'm not saying their definition is wrong, per se. That person just has less expectations of themselves. Through sports, you learn to be a leader when you step up and rise to the challenge and take a leadership role. Possessing leadership qualities is one of the most important assets you learn from sports. Playing sports develops time management skills, which are incredibly useful as you grow older. Time management is something that people struggle with later in life, so I think playing a sport will make an incredible impact on this issue. If everyone in the world plays a sport, starting from a young age, not only will many lessons be learned, but they will have fun in doing so. If everyone started at a young age and continued on, kids would eventually be happier, learn to control their character a lot more, and not let their ego take over. I believe if every kid played a sport, then the world would run a lot smoother than it already is.